наших наступних.
Our next speaker, Anton Gerashchenko, advisor to the Minister of Internal Affairs, and Yury Butusov, the president of the Foundation of Strengthening the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and we'll be talking about that foundation. Esteemed representatives of mass media, today with Yury, we came to you to inform about our civil initiative, the initiative of setting up the Ukrainian Charity Foundation of strengthening the national security of Ukraine. The co-founders are Butusov and myself. The president is Butusov. In Ukraine, in 23 years, the national security was being ruined, and one of the main tasks of the authorities of the legally elected parliament and the president is to strengthen the national security so that we can oppose Russia and other threats. But it's not enough to have the efforts of the state. That is why we decided to create the Institute of Civil Society. We invite all the stakeholders into it to accumulate the funds of the Ukrainian and foreign citizens to implement the task on strengthening the national security of Ukraine. There were many complaints about the state machine. The Fund 565 was set up by the Ministry of Defense. People say that the money is collected, but they are not used quickly, and that's related to some limitations existing for the state. We, as a charity foundation existing in the legal environment of charity foundations, will be more mobile, more efficient, and our task is to create the platform for communication between all the organizations which are involved in charity work, to using all the American, European methodologies of managing charity funds. The work is planned on programs. Today all the information is on my web page in Facebook and Butusov's web page in the Facebook, and these will be 5 programs to strengthen the strengthening of information security via financing interesting internet projects like the site Stop Terror in UA and other websites, also financing the procurement of the modern intelligence equipment, scouting equipment, the drones, the heat vision equipment, and other up-to-date equipment. Yury is one of the best experts on such issues. Another important thing are issues. We are planning to pay a lot of attention to the voluntary units who have no material basis, and they will be the subject of special attention for us. We'll be planning procurements of the helmets, of the bulletproof vests, together with the famous charity foundations, other charity foundations of Kharkiv Patriots, Chevrolet, Kazimyak, and others. We opened the website of the foundation where you can donate. Also, I would like Yury Butusov to talk about his understanding of how the foundation should work, and we invite all the citizens, all mass media to cooperate with us to accumulate money for strengthening the security in the country. First of all, I believe we need the necessity to set up the foundation is explained because the work that we are conducting is to be structured. We have many foundations. I see no problem with that. Every private initiative should be able to develop. Unfortunately, the volume of problems and tasks that Ukraine, our society, are facing to defend our country, to make our armed forces stronger, to make the Ministry of Interior stronger, and other institutions which strengthen the security of the country. Well, we have many tasks. 10, 20, 100 foundations will not be able to resolve all these problems. I believe that every new foundation is structuring the activities of the society directed towards helping our state. So what we have done, we want to more effectively promote our plans and ideas in a more systemic way, because one person, two persons cannot do that. There should be the whole structure working. Every day we face new challenges. I don't want to say that we are so important, but I do hope that we'll be able to make our modest contribution into this struggle for independence and freedom of Ukraine. Thank you. I would also add, we are planning on a voluntary basis to open the rep office in the US, Canada, countries of EU, to unite the efforts of our friends all over the world, to materially support the efforts on strengthening the security of Ukraine. The foundation also has volunteers who work free of charge. They develop the legal framework for our project. We opened the account in Russian rubles so that the citizens of Russian Federation who understand that Russia is responsible for what's happening in Ukraine, so that they can help us. The charity and the foundation will be both opened and closed. The donator will define whether he or she wants the name to be known. The reporting will be absolutely transparent, and in the charity 5%, the charter stipulates that 5% of the money will be used for the administrative expenditures. Then we will have professional managers involved into all issues connected to efficient spending money and efficient reporting. So please ask questions.
So you came with a presentation of the fund. Which system have you chosen? And there are internal systems of index of security to the fund, and there are something similar. Which kind of system would you like to use for that system to be open? As you know, I'm not a bookkeeper. We invited people to the project who know how to deal with finances. My task is very simple. Everything should be transparent. It's easy to provide that. It should be my funds should be transparent, and there should be daily reports online, and also transparency of spending those funds. For that, everything should be legal. That must be legal should be declared. So everything should be legal, and all of that should be in the internet. The issues which people would like not to share, if they don't want to share, to demonstrate their participation, there should be a supervision council. Supervising board should control that issue, and all people who are respected in the society and whose opinion people trust. Thank you very much, but not a complete answer. Money of not a criminal origin, and you are an advisor for the Minister of Interior. So, in this case, I'm the co-founder of this fund. As a citizen of Ukraine, it is not prohibited by the law. And of course, we will receive a body charity, and if that money is dirty, if we get information, we will return to those who donate that money. Yury told you that the fund will have the principle of transparency, voluntarity, so everything will be open and clear. Any other question, please? News from Donbass. Could you tell how that work of providing aid to forces What about state machine that provide anything? Yes, there is a problem. There is not insufficient financing and insufficient funding, and also we don't have a lot of experienced people, logistics and National Guard or the army. There are old cars, but modern Mercedes and can consume less fuel. So we have some financial issues and absence of experience how to provide support to armed forces. So time is a good doctor, and we improve supplies to our armed forces. Any other question? Then I have a question as a moderator. What about the side of the fund? Is it in work? Yes, we opened this fund, and there are all the criteria and declaration of the fund, and also all the bank accounts for this instead to be provided, and we'll use social networks and we'll invite a journalist to inform our people about our fund. How will it be different from other funds? We raise money for armed forces like amateurs. It's not good or bad, but there is a private accounts are used. There is the law about charity funds, and there are laws which helps to save. Our task is not to take somebody's work of money. We would like to develop the fund, which will work on a very good level. And in the U.S., for example, charity funds have a long history. I was a student in the U.S. and I visited charity funds, and I saw how it works. So we should try to use their standards. We don't have such funds, but I hope that we'll be able to make our fund as a good example to follow. And we all share our experience with all who like to develop charity activity in Ukraine. This is needed in order to strengthen our civic society. I can give you some figures. Before the crisis in the U.S., charity funds collected about $100 billion. All the budget of Ukraine is $40 billion. And if to compare the budget to charity funds, that's not much. And very often charity funds in Ukraine worked for oligarchs or for campaigns. We would like to set up such a fund which will be an example to follow. That will be an institution of civic society. Do invite experts, because you told that you will use an American model. Yes, we'll have a presentation to embassies. We are open to cooperation, and we'll use every opportunity to do this work. Thank you very much. And we'll have one more. We have one more question here. I beg your pardon about the foundation. I got all the answers to my questions, but there is an announcement. I saw just note about this that they were shooting at to the first 21st Brigade from Grad. I've heard about this from mass media. The 21st Brigade is a part of armed forces of. I would not like to comment. Ask the press service of armed forces of Ukraine. Yury. Yes, unfortunately, at night, terrorists shooting from Grad, shooting at positions of Ukrainian forces. There are losses, and of the big losses in the 24th Brigade from Lviv and 79th Brigade from Mykolaiv. And the border guards on Dolzhansky also, they were attacked, unfortunately. The main reason of those losses is quite passive strategy of Ukrainian armed forces. Our ATO has some kind of rhythm, maybe because it's related to logistics and or management. I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, as soon as ATO slows down and if we lose initiative, terrorists use that opportunity to attack big objects as like blog posts and parking places. And I believe that's the main problem. I would like to mention also that certain rules from the statute as to security of dislocation of our armed forces engineering. Every time it's important to, in many cases, not in this case maybe, our armed forces are quite a easy aim for terrorists. As soon as we allow them to act, as soon as they are free, as soon as they have a chance to take initiative, they use that pause, that break, to attack. They have a lot of weapons. We have the war against terrorists in our own country and all territorial. We cannot destroy our economy, our infrastructure. We cannot stop movement of civilians and their transport. So when somebody uses the same car for 10 times, some locals, nobody has the right to stop that person and to send that person to be examined. Through dislocation, through our posts, and there is a free movement of civilians and citizens of Ukraine. And so there is a regime, they check documents, and not more. But to run positional war under such conditions when our troops are completely visible for the intelligence, it's very difficult. So the solution is in attacking and liquidating terrorists. Any static front, any situation, if we look at the main losses of our armed forces, all attacks on Volnovakha, so not during the active operation, but during breaks in the operation, because then groups of terrorists have a chance to find places which are an easy target, and they could do intelligence and do you have any information about losses. I hope, because of objective reasons, communication, there is no direct communication with those units, because military men, when they go to the battle, they don't use their mobile phones, and that makes sense because it's very easy to find mobile communication, and it will bring to more losses. So information, we need to get information. There is contact with some in those brigades, and there are some losses, and but how many casualties, nobody can tell you now. That should be studied, that fact. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.